innings, giving up 3 runs. 2 of them were earned as he got the victory. In fact, he has won his last 2 decisions. Prior to Seattle, he had won at New York. The defense for the Red Sox from left to right in the outfield: Bay, Ellsbury, and Drew. Third to first, Lowell, Green, Pedroia, and Youkilis. Jason Varitek doing the catching for Beckett. Red Sox have dropped to 11th in fielding percentage in the American League. Beckett's ready. Murphy in on the left side. And the first pitch of this one is strike 1.
You expect Beckett to have a big game tonight. You know, an extra day's rest, strong, facing a team like the Mets that just is not a really strong lineup at all. You'd think he'd have a strong appearance.
The 1 to Murphy misses. And it's a ball and a strike. A lot of Mets fans have made their way here to Fenway Park, being drowned out at the moment. As Murphy starts tonight hitting at .256. 3 home runs and 12 runs batted in. In there for strike 2, and it's 1-2 to Murphy.
Make his job a lot easier if you get that breaking ball over early.
It's the second time Murphy in his career has led off in the major leagues. And he leads off with a drive to right. Drew over towards the line to make the catch for the first out here in the first inning. We're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game. Well, the conditions tonight, it has cooled off significantly, down to 55 degrees. Wind blowing in from right at 9 miles per hour, and mostly cloudy at the moment here at Fenway Park. 1 out for Angel Pagan. Came into the game last night. Ryan Church leaving the game. And Pagan starts the game tonight, and starts by taking strike 1. It is first start with the Mets this past week, part of the road trip at Los Angeles. As the Mets started this trip in San Francisco, went to LA, an off day, and then began this 3-game series against the Red Sox last night.
Once again, good breaking ball early in this game.
Chop towards Pedroia at second base, and there's 2 down in the first. Well, the crew chief of this crew has the plate tonight, Joe West, with Ed Rapuano at first base, Chad Fairchild at second, and Paul Nauert is the umpire at third. Two down for Carlos Beltran. Again tonight, he's going to try to give it a go in center field, but prior to the game, the lineup shuffle again, and Beltran ends up as the DH for the second straight night.
Well, I'm sure they'd like to give Beltran a day off from center field, but that just hurts them that much more, the way they're trying to have so many guys out of position defensively.
We saw it last night kind of come to a head. Their shortstop Ramon Martinez having a tough night, booting a couple of balls. But on a night, unfortunately for the Mets, they had Johan Santana on the mound.
Yeah, that could have cost them big time. You know, put him in trouble a couple times for second and third, and he got tougher when he got guys on base last night.
Beltran with a swing and a miss, and it's 2-1. The league leaders are brought to you by Olympia Sports. And road batting average. David Wright on top at .434. His teammate Carlos Beltran at .427 away from Citi Field. Ground ball left side, ranging is Green. Off balance throw and no chance. Beltran has been hurting, but still running pretty well as he reaches at first base on the infield hit.
Well, Green's playing him up the middle because he's kind of going to pull, he thinks, and he gets a pitch down and away, just chops it in the hole right there. You might as well eat this ball right there, the way that Beltran runs.
So 2 down, Beltran at first. Here's Gary Sheffield, who last night led off the second inning with his 3rd home run of the year. And he has been red hot last 12 games, sitting at .361. And with the injuries, having a chance to play on a more regular basis, starting games and playing the outfield as he takes strike one. He's able to take Daisuke Matsuzaka deep to begin the second inning last night and got the Mets scoring started.
Didn't really get that ball. You know, he left home plate thinking if he hits it good, he hits it foul. That's what happened. Hit the end of the bat and went out. You know, for the most part, when Beckett pitches against right-handed hitters, he's had trouble throwing that fastball down and away to a right-handed hitter. It comes back over. You saw it against Betancourt, home run he gave up last game in Seattle. You know, those are the mistakes, especially to a hitter like Betancourt, that you just can't make, let alone a good hitter.
In the dirt, and it's 2-1. Veritek spryly jumping up as Carlos Beltran remains at first base.
You try to throw it. That's the toughest pitch to make from a right-handed pitcher, is the fastball down and away to the right-handed hitter, because you have to wait. You have to wait and you have to finish, and you can't try to hump on that or the ball tails back in. Can't overthrow.
Swing and a miss. Then it's 2-2 to Sheffield.
Sheffield's looking fastball. He's always looking fastball, and he gets a slider right here, a hard slider. Well, that's a curve, but it didn't break as much as his nasty 12-6 curveball. Good place for it. Outside, you're going to miss out.
This one gets away. Beltran heading to second base as Euclid runs it down in foul ground.
Quick jump move right there. He had him off. If he throws that ball on the money, he might have picked him off right here. You see this? He's got him off balance. Good throw. He is out. He's got him right there. Bad throw. Error on the pitcher, but I'll tell you, he could have picked him off.
Mentioned the Red Sox dropping to 11th in the league in fielding percentage, charged with their first error of the night. Beltran in scoring position, 2 down, and a 2-2 count to Gary Sheffield. Jams him as he pops it up. Beckett going for it. So is Lowell, but nobody will get it. Beckett ended up being in the way.
Totally. Now, I don't know if Lowell really had a shot at this, because he was coming from a long ways away, playing way back at third, but I think Beckett got in the way. I really do. I mean, I think he would have caught that ball. There's a time when a pitcher should just stay where he was. You see this? I don't even think he would have to slide if Beckett was there. He thought he was going to collide with Beckett and sort of pulled up a little bit. You hope that doesn't cost him. You think about it, it's an out.
So another chance for Gary Sheffield with a count of 2-2. Beckett has been charged with an error, and perhaps in this case a mental error, heading over trying to get that ball and getting in the way, serving as an obstacle. Now 2-2 to Sheffield.
There Beckett does again. Sometimes he does this. You know, there's a time when they call timeout. You know, everybody talked about it with Abreu. He gives 2-3 looks to the guy at second base. It makes the hitter anxious, but at some point somebody's going to call timeout.
Sheffield instead lines it into left field, a base hit, and here comes Beltran. Mets take a 1-0 lead on a sloppy first right here for the Red Sox.
Well, Sheffield gets his second chance right here. They should be in the dugout right now. He gets a sloppy breaking ball right here. Stays on the inner half. He double clutches and gets a line drive base hit to left field. You see right here, double clutched. Still got a chance to put good wood on that ball, pull it into left field. RBI base hit. Beckett's probably kicking himself.
So the Mets strike first. Sheffield at first base, held on by Euclid now as he's got to deal with David Wright. He takes ball 1. 94 on the fastball from Beckett. The key matchup is brought to you by Honda against David Wright. Some tough numbers for Wright, just 1 for 15 against Beckett. Over the outside corner to strike one, 1-1.
That's that unhittable fastball. If he can do that all night long, he's tough. You see this pitch right here? You can't make a better pitch. All the way across, almost crossfire a little bit for him, because usually he's over the top. But to go out and hit that ball, you got to dive to hit that ball. That's how the game sort of snowballs on Beckett sometimes. One bad break here or there, you think about it. Weak ground ball by Beltran for a base hit, and the pop-up that should have been caught.
Not only a run, but more pitches for Beckett, too, in this first inning. He's up to 20. A 2-1 count to David Wright. And it's outside for ball 3.
So you got to be careful here. This is, you know, their best player at the plate right now. I know that you don't try to walk somebody early, but you do have Reed on deck, and this guy can do some damage.
4th in the National League in hitting, 362 batting average. Walks a lot. 28 walks on the season already for David Wright. And a take the strike. Joe West going up with the arm. Wright took a step towards first. Full count.
Oh, that's a gift right there. This ball's outside by the eye. I thought this ball's way outside. Yes, it is. Not way outside, but it's a ball. I'd take it for a strike. Same pitch. Once again, why not? And Wright's got some power to right center field, too.
And riding a 13 gamer with some impressive numbers along the way. Line cut by Youkilis in the backhand at first. A rocket, but right at Youkilis. Mets lead at 1-0. Red Sox coming up. Last half of the first inning, the Mets score first on top 1-0. Mike Pelfrey on the mound tonight for New York. Comes in with a 4-1 mark, 4.61 earned run average. Opponent's hitting at .291 against him. Off the top, we showed you the problems he had last time out against the Giants. A lot of mental errors. Ended up giving up 2 runs in 6 innings and taking his first loss of the year. Jacoby Ellsbury stands in and takes strike 1.
Pretty much a fastball pitcher. He got 6'7". Got some leverage out there. Doesn't strike out a lot of guys. 11 strikeouts this year. Gets a ton of double play balls. A lot of base runners. He doesn't want to get this base runner on first base because right away we're going to go to the yip machine, you know, with what recently happened in his last start.
Ellsbury lines it into right field, a base hit. He extends the hitting streak to 18 games and again takes care of it in his first at bat.
Ellsbury trying to jump on this first fastball that he gets right here. Fastball middle up a little bit, yanks it. Good way to start the game and keep your hitting streak going.
Well, look at the numbers in the 18 gamer for Ellsbury. Last couple of nights been taking care of it in his first at bat. Matches his career high. September 5th through the 28th of last year. As Dustin Pedroia stands in and takes ball 1.
Pelfrey on the first, he went to the stretch as quick as he could that time. He did not even think twice about it. We talked before about what happened last start with a 3 box. He had a hard time even getting up into his delivery. Now you see him hurry up and do it. Don't even think about it. His problem was he was too concerned, he thought, about throwing the ball to first base. And he started to get sort of antsy on the mound. He didn't know whether, you know, when to pull the ball up. I mean, it sounds strange. It's like, just go to your stretch. But he just was, it was in his head.
You heard anything like that?
Yeah, kind of. Not like that on the mound, but you see him kind of pauses in between taking it, going to the stretch.
On the ground left side, Martinez has no play anywhere. Two on, nobody out. As we check out the Red Sox starting 9, brought to you by New England Chevy dealers. Ellsbury in center with Pedroia at second, David Ortiz the DH with Kevin Youkilis at first base, Jason Bay in left, J.D. Drew in right field, Mike Lowell at third base, Jason Varitek doing the catching, batting 8th, and Nick Green in there tonight at shortstop, batting 9th. Now an infield hit for Dustin Pedroia. The first 2 have reached. In the Red Sox first inning as David Ortiz stands in.
This guy's looking for a double play ball. He's going to throw everything hard. David should have a good swing at him. This guy doesn't really try to trick you all that much. If anything, you know, it's just a lot of sinkers, hard sinkers. Mix in an occasional slider, but to left-handed hitters, he's probably going to stay downstairs.
Not a guy that gives up a lot of home runs as it misses inside to Big Papi, 2-0. Back to Pelfrey, has allowed 23 home runs since coming into the league in 06. Fewest in the majors over that span.
You got to get something hit right here.
Ortiz takes and it's strike 1. 2-1. That was the fastball, 93 miles per hour from Pelfrey.
Couldn't do anything with it anyway. A little paint down and away. Good time to take a pitch.
Ellsbury at second base, Pedroia at first, nobody out. Two and 2.
Another good pitch by Pelfrey right there. Decent swing by Ortiz. This ball is sinking just a little bit, but it's down on the corner right there. Tried to pull it.
Ortiz goes around, trying to hold up, could not, somewhere in between, and he's out number 1.
You said it right. Somewhere in between. Said it all. You see this fastball after 2 fastballs low, comes up out of the strike zone. He just cannot hold up because he's looking dead red and he's got to get it going and he just can't stop.
This is how the Mets align defensively. Gary Sheffield in left, Jeremy Reed in center, Angel Pagan in right, David Wright at third base, Ramon Martinez in short, Luis Castillo at second, Daniel Murphy at first, and Omir Santos catches Pelfrey. They are now 15th in the National League, dropping a place. With some errors here last night, fielding percentage has not been good for New York. Runners go, the throw to third base, and Ellsbury's safe. Pedroia takes second as well.
You know, Pelfrey's so concerned with that, the Bach problem that he had. It's a good time to go. Ellsbury picks a good time. It's not the greatest of jumps if you think about it. The catcher didn't get that good a ball to throw like the other night. The catcher had a real good ball to throw. Throws behind the runner, the batter, and that play's not even close.
18 thefts for Ellsbury, the 5th for Pedroia. The double steal for Boston, 1 out, and a 1-0 to Youkilis.
Nothing but fastball so far.
Has a curve, a slider, and a change, but you're right, just the hard stuff so far.
He pitches a lot like the other right-hander they have, Maine. Big, tall right-hander. They all just throw hard sinkers. No brainer. Just throw it down.
Another foul off to the right. Youkilis is down 1-2.
I mean, those balls are hot. It's not like he's throwing 88. It's 92, 93. Normally with some sink on it. If there's a time to break out a breaking ball, it's right now. They're watching him so close now. They're telling him to be off the mound, off the dirt when you go to your mouth.
That came from first base umpire Ed Rapuano.
They're watching him so close.
Runs it inside for ball 2, 2-2. He was a 13-game winner a year ago, 13-11 in 32 starts.
Kind of a fidgety guy out there.
And Worthen, his pitching coach, looking on, trying to get out of this first inning. Youkilis hits the runner at third and foul ground. That hurt.
Well, thank goodness he's in foul territory, or he's out, and that's why they always start off way almost by the coach's box. He would have been better off right here. See a bullet, one hop off his leg. It's dangerous down there. That's why they make those coaches wear those helmets. You think about it. Kind of embarrassed, I guess, a little bit, but how do you get out of the way of that?
It was on him in a hurry. So 2-2, second and third, 1 out. Youkilis will get another chance as Ellsbury stretches out the leg. Ball 3.
This guy continues to throw sinkers. We gave him a slider sign. He didn't want it. Not such a bad thing to walk Youkilis right here either.
Youkilis to left, a base hit. Ellsbury from third will score. Here comes Pedroia. It's a 2-run single for Kevin Youkilis and a 2-1 Boston lead.
Youkilis makes him pay for not throwing him a breaking ball. He must have saw 4 sinkers down and in this at bat. 3-2. You got to think about walking Youkilis. Sinker down and in. He just yanks it. Saw enough of him. Bullet picks up Big Poppy with a base hit. He stands on the mound. He should be behind home plate backing up, but he figures they're going to score anyway. I've done that a few times in my life.
This one shot foul over by the Mets dugout, and it's 0-1. Jason Bay with a chance here against Pelfrey. Red Sox trying to rattle him early after the Mets and the 1-0 advantage. Red Sox have jumped on top 2-1.
Boy, Youkilis tough out.
Roll throw gets away. No chance for Youkilis to advance as Murphy runs it down.
You think about Youkilis's bat. He's just tough out. You know, sometimes I'm wondering sooner or later they're going to get smart, sort of give him base open. I know Bay's hot on deck, but you know, base open, double play ball Bay can give you. I mean, pick your poison, I guess.
In tight.
It's amazing how many fastballs he's thrown, sinkers.
He rolls it over foul, and it's 1-2.
You know, you think about Ortiz not coming through in the first inning, you know, and how he's been going the last month and a half. It really hasn't cost the Red Sox, you know, out of the number 3 slot, especially when you got like Euclid, pick him up with a base hit right there. It's all forgotten, you know, that he punched out with 2 guys on. I mean, your team's picking you up.
He fouls it off and hangs it 1-2. Everybody else has been rolling all the way around him.
Right.
Ray, Euclid.
So it really hasn't cost him. It just hasn't cost him.
And tonight, a strikeout in his first at bat. Kind of hoped that home run here the other night would get him jump started. It's not worked out that way since.
No, and then last night tough. You know, Santana. What left-hander is going to hit Santana anyway? Right. It's definitely in his head. You're talking to the hitting coach all the time. You know something's going on. I mean, I'm not talking to the pitching coach every time I come in off the field. Believe me.
Well, with a swing and a miss, Pelfrey strikes out Bay for the second out of the inning.
He waited too long. He waited too long to bring out this slider right here. Tough pitch, especially when you haven't seen it. Down and away, pulling off.
So 2 down. Euclid still at first base, and here's J.D. Drew. Drew had a base hit last night, going 1 for 4 in the first game of the series, and it's a .258 overall. There's strike 1 from Pelfrey. Well, the Red Sox already doing better than they did last night with runners in scoring position. Boston was 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position last night. And a base hit by Euclid scores a pair of runs here in this first inning.
Pitch count creeping up, 25 pitches.
Most he's thrown in a game is 105. He threw 78 in the loss last time out against San Francisco. It's ball 2, 2-1.
Got a good pace going tonight for 100 easy by the 4th.
The first inning has been a problem. This includes tonight 2 runs here in the bottom of the first. And there for a strike, and it's 2-2.
Well, he goes to his mouth on every pitch. So much for the rosin bag. No one uses that rosin bag. I don't even know what it's there for. Huh?
Say, why is it there?
It should be like Penny and take his hat off and get some get some sweat off the top of his head instead of having go to his mouth.
2-2 is fouled off.
There he goes. Tried that time. See? Get something there. That's how you load it up. Put some stuff underneath your hat, a little grease. Gaylord Perry style, right? That's how you do it.
Did you ever resort to? Well, you can't.
No,
you can't.
And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
Even if you did, you wouldn't tell me.
No, I'll tell you afterwards.
2-2 to J.D. Drew with Kevin Euclid at first base, 2 down. On the ground, a foul ball just outside the bag at first.
I used to get to a point though where every ball didn't feel good. And I said, give me another one. Give me another one. That's almost like the yips too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nope. No, that one doesn't feel good. I mean, I do it. I think the most time, maybe 4 times.
Really?
Give me another ball. The umpire looked at me. I have no more balls in my bag.
You got to use one of these, Zach.
I know, but it gets in your head saying, no, I don't like the seams on this one. This one feels like it's going to go a long ways, right? Oh, and that's negative to begin with.
Right.
Right. But they don't rub balls up enough in the 9th inning. They get these new balls that they bring in, and they're white.
It's no good.
No good. They can see them.
That's a good point. 2-2. He's fouled off to the left. Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, your New England Ford dealers, your New England Subaru dealers, Dunkin' Donuts, your New England Jeep dealers, and by Citgo. On this Connecticut day from Fenway Park, great shots of Connecticut. There's J.D. Drew, takes ball 3, full count, more pitches for Mike Pelfrey.
Well, he should have some sweat in his brow because he's thrown 31 pitches.
Drew fouls off another. 94 on the fastball from Pelfrey. J.D. with good numbers against the Mets, for spending his career in the National League prior to coming to Boston. Drew fouls off another.
If I was pitching today, a starter, and I knew right now I threw 33 pitches, I'd be thinking to myself, I got to get out of this inning, I know, but I'm not long for this game, you know, really.
It's a bad feeling to have in the first inning, I would
exactly. You say, now I'm going to go back out there in the second inning and say, hurry up and get him out. You hurry up and get him out, they might juice you, you know, because you got to pitch. You got to keep pitching.
10th pitch of the at-bat. Second base, Castillo with a nice snare. Throws out Drew to end things, but the Red Sox get 2 runs in the inning, take a 2-1 lead. Josh Beckett on the mound for the second inning. Long wait, but he doesn't mind as the Red Sox gather 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning, take a 2-1 lead. 6, 7, and 8 for New York in the second. Reed, Santos, and Martinez. Jeremy Reed with a swing and a miss, and it's 1-1.
Just overpower this one. Pound the strike zone with the fastball right there. This bottom of the lineup, he should just go after. Starting with this guy Reed, and all the way down the list there. Santos, Martinez, and Castillo.
There's Santos waiting on deck. There's that one by him at 95.
That's what I'm talking about.
Had to throw 23 first inning pitches and gave up a run in the first.
Do it again.
This time it's line to left. Jason Bay over a few steps for the first out of the inning. Go to NESN.com to receive a coupon valid for 30% off your entire purchase at all Olympia Sports locations on May 30th and 31st. Olympia Sports, get it for less. Number 44 handling out number 1 out there in left field. Here's Omir Santos. We'll take strike 1 from Beckett. Santos at 254 to start the night. Home run, 13 runs batted in. Santos has been pitching in 8 RBIs in the last 10 games.
He's thinking to himself right there, strike 2 outside corner. That ball's a strike. I've got no chance. Try this hook on for size.
In the dirt outside, not tantalizing enough, and it's 1-2. Now Santos being called up from AAA Buffalo on April the 17th.
Another hook.
This one a little better, and he doesn't get the call. 2-2.
Well, you'd rather have the one you throw in the dirt here, because this is kind of a hanger. You know, sometimes you get away, they might call it a strike, but you're not trying to do that, that's for sure.
But I was thinking it was a strike. A little bit high, according to the Mika pitch zone. This one chopped towards short, Green to his left. And there's 2 down. So 3 in a row retired by Beckett. Ramon Martinez, the shortstop, coming up. Well, it cooled off here tonight all of a sudden.
Good. I know. The wind starts blowing in our face. It's going to get cold.
He's coming in from right field to begin the game. About 55 degrees to get the game started.
It's like 35-degree difference in yesterday.
You were outside bronzing yesterday. No bronzing today.
I was a little quickie yesterday.
Yeah.
A little quickie. You know, the bumblebees are killing me right now. They're murdering me. I'm telling you, it's annoying.
This one chopped foul, and it's 1-1.
Life is tough. These bumblebees are bothering me. I'm trying to get some. Never mind. This is a mismatch right here.
Strike 2, 1-2. Right at 95 tonight.
He's all about fastball command, and then from there, if he's got a good hook, trouble.
Lead on the fastball this time is Martinez.
I mean, he dazzles when he's got, first of all, great fastball command, and then when he's got his hook, that's when he punches a lot of guys out. He'll have his 8, 9, 10, 11 punch-out games. That's how he gets his punch-outs. Curveball in the dirt.
This one grounded back to him. Beckett fields and tosses. It's a quick and easy 1-2-3 second, and a 2-1 Red Sox lead. Adam Sandler in the house as we head to the last half of the second inning at Fenway with the Red Sox on top 2-1. Rick Lowell, Jason Varitek, Nick Green face Mike Pelfrey. Had to throw 34 first inning pitches. And of course the Red Sox came away with 2 runs. Strike 1 to Lowell. Pelfrey coming in with a 4-1 record. Mentioned he lost for the first time last time out against San Francisco. Lowell chops it to third, a stumble, but a nice pick by Wright, and it's out number 1.
Boy, he turned this into a nice play right here. He didn't know how to play this ball. If he stays back, he might get a bigger hop. He was kind of in between and picked it. It's a nice pick right here. You see him wait, didn't know where to come in. Next thing you know, tough hop, picks it, makes it look easy.
So 1 down, Jason Varitek coming up. Captain with 8 home runs on the season already. 20 RBIs, 246 average. Varitek homering last night for the 4th time in the last 5 games. And hit one off another lefty. This time he takes Johan Santana deep.
They did about 500 off Santana coming in. And he knows that. He knows he'd taken him deep earlier in his career. All pitchers know that. A lot of damage this year. A lot of extra base hits. 8 home runs, 9 doubles.
Rounded up the middle and into center field. A base hit for Jason Varitek. And a 1-out base runner for Boston.
Oh, fastball down. Look at that ball sink. Hits the ball, shoots that ball right back up the middle. That's really all he could do with it. When you're going good, base hit up the middle. If you're going bad, you pull a little bit right to the second baseman.
So 1-out single, and here's Nick Green. Batting average has been good for Green, hitting up over 300. He's had a tough time defensively, and of course the costly error. His last start in Seattle to wrap up that series against the Mariners.
Seems like we haven't seen him for a while. It's been a few days, hasn't it? Lugo's been in there for a while.
Last time he played.
Got to sit on that for 4 or 5 days.
Takes it inside for ball 2, 2-0. Kind of hit his way onto this team during spring training. Incredible spring training, and over the last 14 games hitting well over 400. Up the middle, could be 2 as Castillo to second for 1, on to first. They turn it. Good pick at first by Murphy. We're through 2 from Fenway. Red Sox lead it 2-1.
He's yours.
Introducing the new $5 Red Sox instant game from the Match Day Lottery. You could win Red Sox seasons tickets for life and up to $1 million instantly. Get yours today. For details, visit masslottery.com. 2-1 Red Sox on top. We move to the top half of the third inning. Number 9 batter in the Mets order, Luis Castillo. Strike one from Josh Beckett, who retired the side in order in the second inning and relinquished a run in the first.
Ooh, nasty cutter right there.
Pitch number 40 of the night for Josh Beckett. And it's strike two, 1-2. No strikeouts yet tonight for Beckett. The strikeout high is 10, did that opening day. This one sliced to third. Lowell picks it off the grass and fires to first for out number 1. Well, immediately following our Red Sox coverage tonight, stay with NESN for Sports Desk, presented by FW Web. Find FW Web's 27 bath centers at frankweb.com. A look at the top 10 in confrontations in Boston/New York sports history. And you'll meet a local high school softball pitcher who's thrown 25 perfect games. Plus, Tom Brady is in the news today. Find out why. It's coming up on Sports Desk after tonight's Red Sox coverage. One down here in the third inning. Daniel Murphy flat out to right first time up as Beckett goes second time through the Mets order. On the ground deep short. Green picks it, gets the throw off, and it's high, but Youkilis has got it, keeps the foot on the bag, and there's 2 down.
Nice play by Nick Green right here. Backhand, knows he's got a good arm, lets it go. Little high. Uke has no problem with it. If you know you got a good arm at shortstop, you have some time, you can go to your backhand. Get too excited.
And Beckett has retired 6 batters in a row, 2 down in the third. Angel Pagan grounded out first time up. Takes strike 1. 96 that time from Beckett.
His best fastball tonight. Ball's up a little bit. Joe West, you know, we don't want to start talking about umpires again, but
how do you feel about Joe West?
I don't know.
Lukewarm. He's a nice guy. I know that.
I used to think he had favorites.
And you weren't one of them?
And I wasn't one of them.
I can understand that. Sometimes when people don't like you, you don't like them. So
I don't know if
he felt like he didn't like you.
Maybe he didn't. It wasn't a matter of him not liking me. I just didn't have as big a plate as some of the other guys on my team did.
There's strike 3. A 1-2-3 third inning for Beckett. He's got it going on. It's 2-1 Red Sox. Last of the third inning, and the top of the Red Sox owner Jacoby Ellsbury, Dustin Pedroia, David Ortiz to face Mike Belfry. He retired the side on 9 pitches in the second inning. Ellsbury chops it out towards second. Nicely picked on the half hop by Castillo, and he throws out Ellsbury for the first out of the inning.
What another nice play by the Mets, charging in on a chopper like that. Looks like an easy play, but it is not. You see this? It looks like it's going to be a simple little chopper to second base. He charges it. Now he's in trouble. He gets a short hop it and turns it into a real good play. But he can't stay back because Ellsbury can run.
We saw a nice play last inning by David Wright at third. Now Luis Castillo, 3-time National League All-Star, 3-time Gold Glove winner. Out of that, of course, coming with the Florida Marlins, also spending time with the Twins, and back in the National League with the Mets.
Doesn't seem like the same player, though. You know, not as quite as much range.
Not as much speed, certainly, as he had at one point in his career either.
Not at all. And you see him at the plate, it looks like he wants to, you know, work a walk. He takes a lot of pitches. It's not a pretty swing he has to begin with, left-handed. All he's trying to do is chop at the ball. But when he had it going on, remember he had a long hitting streak years ago with the Marlins. Was it over 40? I mean, it was up there.
This one chop foul by Pedroia, hangs at 0-2.
But anyway, it was a long hitting streak that he had, so you know he can hit. Stole a lot of bases over the years, but just not quite the same player that he was. 35-game hitting streak, someone told me. 2002. Longest ever by a Latino player.
Set a Marlins franchise record. 35-game hitting streak, went 62 for 154. Hit at 403 during the 35 games. It'll have been the longest since a 39-game hitting streak in '87 by Paul Molitor.
Oh, Molitor, could he hit? He had the quickest bat. I had the good fortune to go into the Hall of Fame with Paul Molitor. What a player.
Pedroia strikes out. Third strikeout for Belfry. 2 down in the third inning.
It's funny how he got tricked on this. This is just a sinker on the outside corner, but he lunges at it like he was looking in, or just you just don't see that very often. You don't see him punch out that often.
No.
Let alone on a fastball. He usually gets to anything. He could reach a ball 6 inches outside, but that just fooled him. I think he was looking in for that sinker down and in. That's what I think. I think the players guess. He guessed wrong.
Well, here's Big Papi, struck out in the first inning. Late in the cut, and it's 1-1.
Everything's hard. Everything's going to be hard. Papi's going to get the bat ready. You know, he's looking for something hard. He's going to get it.
They elevate, he chases, and man, got him on the backswing. And there's Santos. No contact there, and it's 1-2.
See right here, gets a fastball, and he continues.
Got a ball.
If you don't wear a helmet, catcher has to wear a helmet nowadays. You see in the olden days where they had just a regular hat on.
Yeah.
Get killed with that backswing. Another fastball down and away. Watch.
Doesn't chase, doesn't get the corner. Then it's 2-2.
Boy, if he had a changeup, he'd make him spin 3 times right now, but he doesn't.
Jams him in on the hands. NESN's Red Sox minor league schedule kicks off Sunday night when the Pawtucket Red Sox host the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Yankees. Join Eric Freed, Ken Ryan, and Naoko Funiyama from McCoy Stadium and watch the Stars of Tomorrow play Sunday live at 6. 2-2. Inside for ball 3. Nicholas waits on deck. Ball 4, and he walks David Ortiz. First free pass served up by Mike Pelfrey. Two down. Ortiz at first, and Kevin Youkilis is coming up. It's a pretty night here from Fenway Park, but it has cooled off. Youkilis is single to drive in a pair of runs in the first inning. RBIs 22 and 23 on the season for Youkilis, and didn't miss a beat despite missing 2 weeks on the disabled list. You hear it all the time. Guys come back off the DL and it's like spring training all over again. Well, he got 2 games where the Pawtucket Red Sox came back and didn't miss a beat.
You know, he just sees the ball, identifies it so quickly, and he spoils so many good pitches. That's what he does more than anything. You can't keep throwing good pitches to somebody. Sooner or later, you're going to throw him something he can hit. See 2 breaking balls right here. He started them off with. You think he got him 0-2. Next thing you know, it's going to be 3-2. You don't quite know how to finish him off.
Ball 1, 1-2. Well, the Mets to start the day, 1.5 games back of the Philadelphia Phillies. New York 22 and 19, 3 games over 500. And the Phillies today were beaten by the Yankees 5-4 at Yankee Stadium. Youkilis jacks it out towards right center field. Jeremy Reed on the run, and he'll get there to make the grab that ends the inning. Red Sox on top 2-1 at the end of 3. Top half of the 4th inning back at Fenway Park. Red Sox on top 2-1 as Carlos Beltran leads it off. As Josh Beckett has retired 7 batters in a row. We're happy to have with us Kelly Pedroia dropping by the booth. Kelly, great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Now tell us a little bit about your story in battling skin cancer.
Well, I was diagnosed with melanoma when I was 18. I was irresponsible, went in the sun, went to tanning beds, and didn't realize the effects of what I could do or what I'd done to my body.
And since then, you've done a great deal.
Yes, since then, since Destin's been with the Red Sox, I teamed up with the Melanoma Foundation of New England to help educate people and get the word out that the sun is not good for you.
And certainly baseball players out there every day, and of course they do screening quite a bit. Did it yesterday here at the ballpark.
Yeah, we had the screening yesterday. It went great. All the guys, wives, all staff could go. I think it's just a matter of realizing that it's okay to be outside. It's great to be outside, but just protect yourself, wear sunscreen, go in the shade, just do all that stuff.
It's certainly a cause that was near and dear to Shonda Schilling in her time with the Red Sox as well.
That's right. Shonda, I worked with her on some stuff when they were here, and now I'm just continuing.
This is to right field for Beltran. Over is Drew, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
So this is different than the shade program?
Yes, this is the Melanoma Foundation of New England. I'm on the board of directors there, and we're actually having an event on June 12th. The event's called Inspired, and it's being held at the Intercontinental. We want everybody to come out and join us.
Tell us a little bit about what's going to go on that night.
The event that night, it starts at 6:30, goes till 9 at the Intercontinental. We've got the Beantown Swing Orchestra, a great auction. We've got monster seats, tons of Red Sox items, getaway, jewelry, art, all sorts of stuff. And there's a cocktail buffet, and there's a VIP event before that's held in the residences at the Intercontinental with a champagne tasting.
Gary Sheffield batting here with one out. Kelly Pedroia joining us from the booth here at Fenway. This is fouled off to the left, and it's 0-2. Well, this has been a lot of fun for Dustin over the last 2 years. I mean, you take a look at what he's been able to accomplish. It's been incredible. First Rookie of the Year, then MVP. Was he anxious at all during the offseason, waiting to hear if he was the MVP or not?
I don't think he was anxious. I think, as everybody's learned, Dustin's not big on personal accomplishments. I think he would have been more happy if they would have won the World Series. So he was anxious to get the next season started.
But when he did get it, did he show some emotion?
Yeah, I mean, he was very excited. I think he was in awe. That's a huge honor. But as I said, he's more looking forward to 2009.
This one chopped to third. Lowell's got it on the backhand, and there's quickly 2 down. Give the phone number one more time and the website in which you can get involved here at the bottom of the screen. We hope you will. And we thank you very much for coming up. Great
no
to see you,
problem.
Kelly.
Thanks for having me on, and I hope all you guys come out to the event and join us.
Thank you, Kelly.
All right, thank you. So 2 down here in the 4th inning. David Wright coming up.
Bye-bye.
In there for a strike, and it's 0-1. I didn't mention to her, Eck, that you're upset about the bumblebees where you live.
I didn't say anything. Said nothing. It's not a problem.
David Wright lined out to first base, first time up. Beckett has now retired 9 batters in a row. First inning, which he gave up a couple of hits, a run, and was charged with an error himself.
I said going in the pregame that I expected him to have a good outing. I just, with this lineup, they're hurt like this. You get through a couple hitters like Beltran and this guy in particular, Wright. Kind of cruise for a while. Easy for me to say.
No, but if you look at the lineup and the injuries that they have, I mean, you're worried about their regulars. Beltran, Sheffield, Wright. After that, you got some guys you're not used to seeing.
Right. This is not a good lineup. It just isn't. And then they're going to go back home to their new ballpark, the spacious new ballpark. They're not a power hitting team anymore, especially with no Delgado. So they're going to have to pitch and play defense and run small ball, but they can't do that without Reyes playing shortstop.
Outside ball 3, full count.
And this mix and match, act they have to put out on the field. They don't know who's playing what day to day. It's a tough job for Manuel this year.
David Wright strikes out. Second K for Beckett. A 1-2-3 4th and a 2-1 Boston lead. 2-1 Red Sox on top of the Mets as we head to the home half of the 4th inning. Mike Pelfrey back on the mound for the 4th as Jason Bay leads it off. Bay struck out swinging in the 1st inning. Pelfrey's got 3 strikeouts. Red Sox got 2 runs off him in the 1st.
Funny thing about Pelfrey, he came out 1st inning throwing nothing but sinkers, right? Probably 98%, probably one slider in the 1st inning. And then since then he broke out the slider a little bit. See it right there. Big sweeping breaking ball.
One more game with the Mets. The Red Sox will be traveling after the game tomorrow night. Open up a series with the Twins. Begins Monday afternoon. Shortstop Martinez plants and throws and gets Bay. Bang bang play at first.
Boy, he took his time on this ball. Ground ball in the hole. And got in front of it. I was thinking he better hurry up right here. So he gets in front of it. Little skip, jump. You better get it there. Got him.
One down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Brings up J.D. Drew. Grounded out to second base back in the 1st. And take strike 1 from Pelfrey.
Another little breaking ball, a little wrinkle right there. I guess the game plan is hard first time around, then break out the breaking stuff.
The 2nd time through for him. He's walked a batter, otherwise retired everybody else. He's on the 6th batter of the order in J.D. Drew. Doesn't chase. 1-2. This will be the 70th pitch for Mike Pelfrey. He had to throw 34 first inning pitches. And it's strike 3 to Drew. Takes with him the 4th strikeout from Mike Pelfrey, and there's 2 down in the 4th inning.
What a strange at bat that was. You know, a couple breaking balls here, fastball he misfires, then he freezes him on a fastball that had inside corner. JD sort of befuddled. Didn't he? Just sort of
didn't react right away.
Okay.
This bat is over.
Yeah. Wow, it's a fastball in. Wasn't that strange? Huh.
2 down low with a chopper left side. Little indecision. Martinez on the run. Gets it and throws him out. Nice play. Right backed off at the last second. Made the right move. It's 2-1 Boston. There are 27 Frank Webb Bath Center showrooms. Product knowledge and friendly guidance make both sides of Webb a home run. Fifth inning from Fenway. Red Sox on top 2-1. Jeremy Reed, Omir Santos, and Ramon Martinez face Josh Beckett, who's retired 10 batters in a row. Ground ball diving at first is Youkilis. Beckett to cover for the out. Gold Glove first baseman spitting out some dirt after making that grab.
And he shows why he's a Golden Glover right here. A step and a dive makes this play look easy. Beckett's got to get over there. Ball solidly hit. Beckett a little late covering, gets there. Nice play. Lead off out, huge, especially when the ball's hit hard like that. You feel like it was a gift when you're a pitcher.
One down here in the fifth. Omir Santos grounded out to shortstop, first time up. Take strike one from Beckett. He's been pounding the strike zone.
Yes, he has.
60 pitches, 43 for strikes. Breaking ball, he snaps off and misses inside. And a great stretch of retiring 11 Mets in a row. To right, and J.D. Drew's got it lined up. 2 down. If you're traveling and can't watch your Red Sox on NESN, you can always catch the game on your computer with MLB.tv. The ultimate baseball experience featuring 100 out-of-market games per week. Live on your computer, and catch those you missed on demand. For more details, visit RedSox.com, where baseball is always on. And 2 down here in the fifth inning for Ramon Martinez. You can catch Dennis Eckersley tomorrow on TBS. We'll be broadcast. I'm going to lose you tomorrow.
Yep, I'm gone.
Dwight Evans is going to be coming in tomorrow. We look forward to that.
Yeah, do we? Let him see how easy this is. Yeah. Give him a few promos. Huh? Just shove it in front of him.
How do you like that?
Drop that collectible one on him.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody thinks this is easy, don't they?
Especially that one. That's a tough read.
Everything's a tough read.
It is. But you're getting better at it. You're getting better at it.
You're the best, though.
What do you want? You want something, obviously. It's 3-0 here to Ramon Martinez. Look at you, you're sitting up. You're fired up tonight. Well, I thought you were going to fall asleep.
But they told me to sit up. You got to project. I'm learning things every night.
I don't listen to the producer.
They don't know what they're talking about. See, because when you get up like this, it means you're paying attention.
Right. Yeah.
Not that I wasn't before.
No. You were very relaxed. I mean, too relaxed.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to fall asleep.
Like I told you can't get too relaxed in this game. You got to play this game like life or death.
This one lined into left center field. Ramon Martinez has got a 2-out single, and it breaks up a string of 12 in a row retired by Josh Beckett.
Martinez is going to get a fastball right here. Gets too much of the plate. Ball hits the end of the bat a little bit, but still line drive. Base hit, left field. You know, a lot of times, just because you don't punch guys out doesn't mean you're overpowering. I think at this point in this game, 2 outs in the fifth, he has been fairly overpowering with only 2 strikeouts.
Struck out Pagan in the third, struck out Wright in the fourth inning. Now deals with Luis Castillo at 2 down and Martinez at first. Martinez taken off on the first pitch. It's a strike, and the throw not going to be in time. Martinez steals second, jumps up into scoring position. That was quick.
Feels like everybody went to sleep there for a while. I mean, I kind of caught me by surprise. You see, he takes off, not a very big jump, a breaking ball, a good pitch to run on. He runs better than I thought he did. Martinez gets in there easy. 1-run ball game, boom, tying run at second with 2 outs.
Which had been a strike. It's 0-1 to Castillo. Runs it inside, 1-1.
Castillo seems like he doesn't want to swing the bat. He waits till he gets 2 strikes and he finally takes a hack at it. I'd love to have the shortstop scoot over a little bit in that hole, because that's about exactly where he wants to hit the ball. He's playing up the middle too much for me. I know they have to keep the runner close over there.
1-2. That was the 70th pitch of the night for Josh Beckett. Steele didn't like it.
I'll tell you what, I'd turn around, look at the shortstop, and tell him scoot over. Because I'm trying to throw a dot on the outside corner right here. I don't know if he's going to do with this pitch, but that last one. He may try to come inside here. Way inside.
How much did you communicate with your infielders?
Well, I didn't do it all that often.
You got to let Tony La Russa handle that, don't you?
Yeah, sure. But I remember Jim Palmer. He'd go to the back of the mound and he'd be saying, he'd be telling the center fielder, you know, move over a little this way. And a lot of players don't like that.
Yeah.
You know, don't tell me what to do. You pitch and I'll play center field.
I'll stand here.
Yes.
Ball 3, full count. You see some guys who don't do anything or say anything on the mound, but then get to the dugout after something happens and say, why was he standing over there?
Yeah, well, you don't want to show anybody up, first of all. But you know, nowadays they tell you where to play. They've got a coach for everything. They line everybody up. They know tendencies. They know what's going on. But pitch to pitch, things change.
Down and in, ball 4. Did he go? They want to check. They do. And Paul Nauert says he did not.
I'm surprised he didn't go after Castillo right there. Not that he's not trying, but or go after him right there. He's trying to bury him inside. And
here's another chance.
Okay. This week, are you ready?
Go.
Yeah, this week on the Ultimate Red Sox Show, Heidi's top 9 countdown of all things Sox included Jim Rice's Hall of Fame tour, a tasting of McGreevy's Beckett burger, and a preview of the Twins series next week and more. Join Heidi for the Ultimate Red Sox Show tomorrow at noon, just before the Red Sox Game Day Live.
Nice job. You're on it. You're all over it.
I'm thinking about the game.
Nice.
I'm thinking about that pitch he just walked in. I'm thinking he's got to go after him.
1st and 2nd, 2 down. Daniel Murphy is fly to right, grounded to short. It's just a 1-run Boston lead. Beckett had retired 12 batters in a row prior to the single by the number 8 man, Ramon Martinez. Now stands at second. A walk of Castillo has him at first. Ball 2.
Just a little low, I guess. I guess it's low. I got to have that.
Wow.
You never know with Joe. Come on, Joe. Bounce around back there.
Bloop to short left. Bay coming in hard. Out goes the shortstop, Nick Green, to reel it in. Nick Green going out to short left, pulls it in. Red Sox lead it 2-1. Back at Fenway Park, Red Sox leading it 2-1. Beckett out of a jam in the top half of this inning. 8-9-1 for Boston in the bottom half. Varitek, Green, and Ellsbury. And a breaking ball from Mike Pelfrey to Varitek, who singled in the second inning.
What a nice play by Green right there, wasn't it?
It's great. He went out. I didn't think he had a chance at first.
Well, he's redeeming himself for the last game he played, isn't he? In a heartbeat.
And you're right. Long time in between to think about it.
Don't think he didn't lose sleep over that.
Real bad second in the inning. She likes Jason Varitek.
The captain.
Who takes strike 2, 2-2.
Pelfrey throwing a lot more breaking balls.
Much different than the early going, especially the first inning. Had to throw a lot of first inning pitches, 34. Varitek waves at that, fooled on it. 93 on the fastball, and it's strikeout number 5 for Pelfrey. Those defensive plays brought to you by Home Depot. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot. A great play by Nick Green. Jason Bay wasn't going to get there. Nick Green really with the only opportunity, and Josh Beckett fired up and keeping this just a one-run game. Keeping the Red Sox on top. Nick Green, broken bat, single into center. So doing it defensively, now offensively.
He's got the bat on his sleeve right there. Look at that. A piece of the bat on his sleeve. This bat explodes. Sinker, high sinker coming in. I mean, look out. You got nothing. You got nothing in your hand when you're done. Look at this. The nub of the bat and piece of the bat landed on his sleeve.
Got splinters. Big ones.
Somebody get that off of him.
Let's get some tweezers.
It's got pine tar on it. That's probably why it's still stuck there. That bat died a good death, as they say. Got a base hit.
And Jacoby Ellsbury got a base hit in the first inning. Single to center field, grounded out in the third inning. Extended the hitting streak now to 18 games.
It's a nice way to get it out of the way. First time up, base hit. Don't have to think about it, grind on it.
Third game in a row that he has done that in the first at bat.
That one game extended it with the bunt, right?
Yes,
where
bunt single.
Cecil, the pitcher, dove for it.
Face plant.
Yes. Maybe that had something to do with him having a bad out, a couple innings later, not pitching well. I think he's cured that problem with this little balk problem he had.
Well, the early indications was that he had, but as you know, the psyche is a fragile thing.
I know.
Never know when it can come back.
Yeah, might haunt him all year.
You don't know what we're talking about. He balked 3 times in his last outing against the San Francisco Giants. 2 of which led to runs. The only runs he would give up, and a loss. The strike, and it evens at 1-1. Came the first pitcher since Al Leiter, April 23rd of 1994, to balk 3 times in a game.
He doesn't, conventionally get on the rubber and look in. He sort of creeps in there. There he goes. He's got to go to the stretch.
Well, let's talk to his catcher.
He's definitely not comfortable in the stretch. There he goes. He did it. He didn't balk.
Yeah. There is ball 2, 2-1. Kind of stumbled on the mound the first time he did it. Third time was a knee dip.
Yeah, he starts up and creeps and then stutters. Sort of.
He did it a couple. I guess my point is he did it a couple of different ways. This one chopped right side. Castillo will go to second base, and they get Green. Martinez having a hop skip out of the way, and Green got a piece of him, but they do get the out of the lead runner. 2 down.
Dangerous little play right here. He thinks he's got enough time to force out here, but he almost throws the ball into the Green's back. You see, he's got a terrible angle. Luckily, he doesn't throw it into the runner, or that would have been trouble with 1 out. Meanwhile, he got the out.
So 2 down. Jacoby Ellsbury now at first base. And Dustin Pedroia standing in, reached on the infield hit in the first, struck out in the third. On the ground, up the middle, Martinez dives, flips backhanded, not in time. Pulled him off the bag with the toss. Nice try by Ramon Martinez.
It's a nice play to get to this ball on a dive up the middle. Just couldn't get it out of his glove soon enough to get a force out at second base. You see this. Ball hit solid up the middle. Nice dive. Just couldn't get it out in time. Threw him a little change up. Pulled him off the bag. Decent range to get to this ball. High throw pulls him off the bag. Base hit, Pedroia.
Dan Wortham, the pitching coach, headed out to talk to Pelfrey. All of a sudden, with 2 outs, the Red Sox have 2 on. For Dustin Pedroia, his second hit of the night. Now they got to deal with Big Papi, who was struck out and walked. Well, tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 live from Yawkey Way, it's Olympia Sports presents the Boston Globe's Red Sox Game Day Live. We get a preview of Tim Wakefield's attempt to shut down the Mets with his knuckleball. Plus, guest game analyst Dwight Evans will join his former outfield partner Jim Rice on the Yawkey Way stage. And you'll meet Sox prospect Brian Price in our Catch a Rising Star segment. It's all tomorrow at 12:30 on NESN. 4 2/3 for Pelfrey so far. Big spot here. Red Sox on top 2-1 with 2 on and 2 down.
This is a good time for a bomb right here.
Ball 1 outside.
Well, you really can't try to get too big with Pelfrey because he's got that sinker that runs down and away. So you can't really think about trying to drive a ball unless you're trying to drive this ball to left field.
Those it by Ortiz, 1-1.
Funny swing right there. Pulling off.
And slightly to pull in the outfield. Jeremy Reed a step or 2 towards right center. The Mets center fielder. Ortiz into the shift. Castillo in short right will throw him out to end the inning. Still a 1-run game. Red Sox lead it 2-1. Sixth inning back at Fenway. Red Sox on top 2-1. Angel Pagan to lead it off for the Mets. And he takes ball one from Josh Beckett. He's thrown 77 pitches. 2, 3, and 4 for New York here in the sixth inning. Pagan fouls it off, and it's a ball and a strike. Pagan grounding out to second base in the first, struck out looking in the third. Pagan, who had a tough start to the season, March 11th, had surgery done to remove a bone spur from his right elbow, and then had a minor league rehab with Buffalo. Came back up with the Mets on May 16th from Buffalo. He's ahead this time, 3-1. Pagan, then Beltran and Sheffield to bat in the sixth. Full count.
Late swing by Pagan. Fakes a bunt here and there. They go right after this guy.
Pagan to left. Bay makes the catch for out number one. Line drive kind of took off, but Bay was there to make the catch. We told you earlier in this homestand it was great to have Bob Tomaselli back, our old first cameraman, as he was hit in the face during batting practice here last homestand, a couple homestands ago, and today the Red Sox putting together a jersey form of autographs. Always been a Red Sox favorite, and it's great to have Bob back, and the team's glad to have him back. This one out to left field for Beltran, taking Bay to the dirt of the track, but it's out number two.
It's a big out right there to get Beltran. Ball's not really carrying to left field tonight. I think 2-3 nights ago it has a chance to get off the wall. Even last night. Although the wind started blowing in halfway during the game last night. Remember it changed about the fourth inning?
I noticed it because your moss was all over the place. Sheffield with 2 outs. Sheffield singled in the first, grounded out to third base in the fourth.
That's that pitch right there. That's like his signature pitch. He's got that one, trouble.
Where can you score the best Red Sox gear in town? Check out BostonGlobeStore.com. The Boston Globe Store is everything for the diehard fan. Autographed memorabilia, Red Sox photos, souvenirs, and more. Shop online, shop anytime. Shop BostonGlobeStore.com. And 2 down here in the sixth. The 1-2 to Sheffield. And a number foul.
He spoils a big one right there. You can't make a better pitch than that. That's what happens sometimes. You make a real good pitch, and he fouls it off. A 1-2 pitch here, make a fastball, paintball in the outside corner, and he fouls it off. Now you can't try to make a better pitch, and that's when it becomes difficult for a pitcher. You try to, and you can't do it any better than that, and you leave it. The next one, so he goes back to a breaking ball, which is not a bad thing, but. When you can't make a better pitch and then you try to duplicate a perfect pitch, it's hard to do.
To left center field. Ellsbury cuts in front of Bay to make the running catch. 2-1 Boston after 5.5. Two to 1 Red Sox on top of the Mets here in the last half of the 6th inning. Youkilis, Bay, and Drew. Mike Pelfrey back on the mound. 86 pitches now as he works to the first batter of the 6th inning. And keep in mind, the Mets bullpen has been outstanding. Leads the majors, a 2.84 ERA. And we saw a little of it in last night's game, of course, with K-Rod at the end.
Well, who we didn't see last night, who you thought you would in the 8th inning, is Putz. But his neck was like a stiff. He has that on and off, I guess. But
instead, we saw Bobby Parnell. Very impressive.
Very impressive.
Throwing gas, some cheese.
Oh, major cheese. You know, we've been talking about Baird all along, and then he kind of did exactly what we know Baird can do, was light up that gun at 100 miles an hour he touched.
0-2 to Youkilis, just missing 1 and 2.
Uke has done all the damage tonight in the 1st inning. The 3-2 pitch he got down and in, stroked at the left field, 2 RBIs, hit a ball hard last time up the right center field.
I made a big deal about the Mets pen being first at 2.84 earned run average. It's worth mentioning the Red Sox are second in the majors, a 2.93 ERA for the Red Sox pen.
Still take the Red Sox pen over theirs. I think it's more depth, much more depth now that Masterson's out there. Once again, Uke works the count to 3-2. You see all those guys down there. You know, Bard's trying to find his way, find his niche down there. If you think about it, there's no room for anybody.
Youkilis to short left. Sheffield makes the catch for out number 1. Well, it's time now for the Coors Light freeze can. Nick Green with a broken bat base hit ended up with part of the bat on the uni after it splinters. The Coors Light freeze can brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. One down for Jason Bay. Struck out in the 1st, grounded out in the 4th. It's been kept at bay by Mike Pelfrey.
Very good.
You like that?
I like that. See the 34 pitch 1st inning. He's made it here. I didn't think he would really after that 1st inning. But he's mixed it up since that time. You know, a lot of, like we said, a lot of sinkers in the 1st inning since that time. Sliders. Saw a changeup he threw to Youkilis just his last at bat. So he's featured everything.
Very few in the game as far as changeups go, though.
Very. Especially after last night, seeing nothing but fastballs and changeups from Santana. You think everybody would have a changeup nowadays.
On the ground, well positioned was Castillo defensively. And there's 2 down. It's time for a game break in Tom Caron. TC? Okay, Tom, back here at Fenway Park, 2-1. Red Sox on top. 2 quick outs for Mike Pelfrey. And J.D. Drew, the batter, he is 0 for 2, is grounded out and struck out. Hey, look at this body of work tonight for Mike Pelfrey, and it's been a pretty good outing. Looking back, keeping the Red Sox to just the 2 runs way back in the first.
Really has.
Softly grounded at Castillo at second base. Got a 1-2-3 6th. Through 6 from Fenway. It's a tight one. Red Sox lead it 2-1. Seventh inning back at Fenway Park, 2-1. Red Sox on top as David Wright and Jeremy Reed, Omir Santos to face Josh Beckett. Beckett a 1-2-3 6th inning. 90th pitch of the night. The Red Sox ace misses for ball 1. Wright has lined out sharply to first base and struck out swinging. 0 for 2. Down the third base line, Lowell in the backhand, low throw, scooped nicely by Youkilis on the other end.
This ball, I'm surprised it went fair. He's got to hurry up right here, throwing the dirt. Not even a big pick for him to almost made it all the way in the air.
98 pitchers for Mike Pelfrey, and Brian Stokes is warming now for New York. One out in the 7th. Jeremy Reed is lined out to left, grounded out to first. And the recipient of strike 1. 5 in a row retired by Beckett. Earlier he had a string of 12 in a row. Curveball missing, 1-1.
Not a lot of punch outs, like I said, but only 1 walk. And really, the first inning is only damage done. I mean, he could have been out of the first inning. The pop-up that dropped.
Yeah, the K-men out there don't like it when it's like this. Just 2 strikeouts. I mean, they bring all those Ks and only get 2 up there.
You know, when I was young, when I first came to the big leagues, it was important to me to strike somebody out. You know, and I got in trouble sometimes worrying about striking guys out. You know, all of a sudden I'd be in the 5th inning saying, you know, how many strikeouts do I have? 1. I got to get more strikeouts. Meanwhile, I haven't given up any runs.
Right.
Who cares if you strike anybody out? And it took me some time not to worry about striking people out. You know, nowadays, striking out people is overrated. I mean, because it takes more pitches to strike guys out. You know, nowadays, sinker balls are the way to go. I mean, pitch count is so important that you have to pitch to contact. Well, a guy like Beckett.
High chopper, Green. Got to hurry up. Couldn't get it. And went off the bare hand. Trying to time it barehanded. Only chance he had with Reed running.
That would have been a miracle right there if he caught that ball barehanded on that big hop. You see this for big chop. The last hop is going to come. He has no idea what the last hop's going to do. And he do or dies this ball. It nicks his finger. It nicked Nick's finger.
Nice.
Thank you.
1 out, Reed at first. An infield hit, and it is the 4th New York hit of the night. Omir Santos 0 for 2. Long first for Beckett, as it was for Mike Pelfrey. Breaking ball for a strike. Both starters giving up first inning runs. Beckett gave up just 1. Pelfrey gave up 2. Manny Del Carmen starting to get it going in the Boston pen.
Now the guy they're missing behind the plate, the Mets, is Snyder, left-handed hitter. Had a little pop. He's been out. In a perfect world, he's their catcher. We got Castro also.
Line into right center field. That gets in for a base hit. Jeremy Reed's going first to third. And 90 feet away now. With 1 out, a big hit for Omir Santos.
Meanwhile, Santos has, this is a good at bat right here. He gets a fastball up. Probably a little too up, too much of the plate, but a good piece of hitting. That's all he's trying to do, hit a ball like that. It did the other night. Last night he got a base hit like that to left, just by trying to make contact.
They're at the corners with 1 out for Ramon Martinez.
And this inning started with that little chopper that just sort of, you know, you hate to have an inning start like that.
Reed at third, Santos crossed the diamond at first, 1 out.
You got to get this guy out.
He singled off him last time up. Take strike 1 this time.
You got to punch this guy out is what you got to do. See how he goes about trying to punch him out. I mean, punch out, pop up. You can't punch anybody out in the first pitch, obviously, so you got to wait till you get 2 strikes on somebody to try to punch him out. You want to gas him in, he's going to throw him a sinker in. No, he wants a curveball. What do you want? Sinker away? I mean,
it's an indecision.
I'll tell you what, sometimes though you just shake all the way around to get to something that you started off with, you know. I don't know what they decided on yet. Oh, slider, I guess. Cutter, what is this? Little cutter, he gives it to him. There's Joe when you need Joe. Now it's time to punch somebody out. You got 2 strikes. How's he going to do it? Either bury some breaking ball in the dirt.
Reeling off the signs for the defense here with runners at first and third.
Or a high piece of cheese, because if he does make contact with it, he might pop it up. So you could crowd him with a fastball if you wanted to. Nope.
They can cheese away.
Yeah, if you miss, make sure it's away.
And it's fouled away.
Oh, that wasn't good.
Got a lot of the plate.
Yes. And all this guy's trying to do is hit a fly ball. Basically make contact. 0-2, just defend the plate. The ball's up. He's trying to paint away. That's what he's trying to do. You got to punch him out.
Tying run 90 feet away for the Mets and Jeremy Reed. Omir Santos at first, 1 out. And an 0-2 to Ramon Martinez.
Sinker down and in.
And he strikes him out. It's what he needed. It's what he got.
What a big pitch right there. That's Beckett for you. There's a punch out. You got 2 punch outs before this, but this one is the one you need. You may only have 3 punch outs, but this third one is the ball game. Set up by 3 pitches away. Hadn't seen that bite going down. So that high fastball that he fouled off. He's lucky he got away with that 0-2 pitch to have a chance to punch him out on that sinker down and in. But a big pitch right there for his 3rd punch out.
Not out of the woods yet. 2 outs, 1st and 3rd. Luis Castillo grounded out in the 3rd, walked in the 5th. Castillo to center. Ellsbury coming in. He'll make the catch. Beckett's out of the jam. Fist pump and all. It's 2-1 Boston. Time for a Sports Desk update with Cole Wright. Bottom of the 7th inning, Mike Lowell takes strike 1 to get it started. Four in a row retired by Mike Pelfrey, who's back out there. This is pitch number 100 of the night for the Mets right-hander. And a catch by Jacoby Ellsbury. And Beckett out of the jam on the sinking liner, able to make the running catch coming in, and Beckett loved it.
There's that emotion. There it is. It's always in there. And he is ready to explode a lot. And that's a good explosion because that base hit had tie game all over it. Kind of lost concentration after you punch somebody out like that. You know, big out. Next guy, you see Castillo always taking pitches. Swings at the first pitch. Line drive.
Mets had the tying run at third base with one out, and Beckett got out of it.
You're going bad, a guy hits a flare there. You know, when you're going good, guy stings a little bit, but you got a man there to catch it.
Saw Pedro Feliciano up in the pen. One of the holdovers for the Mets. High is just 105. He's at 103. Only 78 last time out. Lowell, one hopper to Martinez at short. First out in the bottom of the seventh. It's time now to bring you up to speed with the AT&T Rapid Rewind. And a key at bat.
You see the bat to Martinez, starts him off with a fastball for a strike, comes back with a cutter outside, and then he gets away with a fastball out over and puts him away with a two-seamer down and in, biting sinker for a punch out. His third punch out of the game, but no one bigger than that pitch right there.
AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Well, Beckett at 103 pitches through 7. Jason Varitek fouls the first pitch off from Pelfrey.
There'll be a lot of times you wouldn't see Beckett come back out there, but he's going back out there. And over the course of the last 4 or 5 ball games, he's pitched what, 110, 120 pitches. They've been running him out there.
Nobody warming in the Red Sox pen. Saw Manny Del Carmen up briefly last inning.
Pelfrey's pitched a good ball game. He really has. After that first inning, you never would have thought he'd be here, right? But I'll tell you, he's been doing it.
A 34 pitch first inning in which he gave up the 2 runs that he's given up tonight.
He's got good stuff. You know, all starts with that hard sinker you saw right there, but he mixed in a little breaking ball here and there, change up here, in and out with the breaking ball. One hard one soft one. But that's his bread and butter right there.
25 years of age.
6'7". It's a monster out there. He doesn't worry about punch outs. Walk in this game with 11 strikeouts on the season.
Strikes out Varitek. 6th K of the night for Pelfrey. 2 down.
Got 6 strikeouts tonight. It's half as much as he had all year. This high fastball looking sinker, he gets high gas. By you.
So 2 down, 6 in a row. Retired by Pelfrey, and here's Nick Green. Rounded into a double play in the second, single in the 5th. On the ground, foul outside of third. Jordan's Furniture is the furniture and mattress store of the Boston Red Sox. Visit Jordans.com for New England's largest selection of brand name furniture and mattresses, all with Jordan's guaranteed underprice. Two down, 6 in a row, retired by Pelfrey as Green flares one to right. Pagan got a bad break, but now comes in to make the running catch. And to end the 7th, it's on to the 8th we go. 2-1 Boston. 2-1 Red Sox on top as Beckett back on the hill for the 8th inning. It's the top of the Mets order. Beckett starting this inning at 103. With action behind him, Ramon Ramirez starting to warm it up. The strike to Daniel Murphy, who's 0 for 3 from the top spot in the Mets order.
Wonder how long that Francona will stay with him.
Murphy, Pagan, and Beltran expected here in the 8th. Broken bat. Green out to get it. He's had a pretty spectacular night at shortstop, and this a nice play to duck back to short center.
Beckett crunches him right here, and you think this might be a little bleeder out there, but Green makes an easy play of it. You're going bad once again. That's a base hit. Not tonight.
A lot of broken bats. One down. Angel Pagan, 0 for 3. He was grounded out, struck out, lined out.
Velocity still there, 94 miles an hour.
Strike 2. Through a season high 120 pitches last time out in the 7-inning effort at Seattle against the Mariners. Hard stuff away. Too far outside, 1-2. Had only one other start against the Mets as a member of the Red Sox back in 2006 at Fenway.
A lot of strikes tonight. You know, everybody said pound the strike zone. How many times you hear that? Pound the strike zone. Yeah, you pound the strike zone. You know, you got to be careful pounding that strike zone, don't you?
Guys hit it.
You want to pound the strike zone with salad? You can't. You know, you're going to get in trouble.
You'd rather do it with cheese.
Yeah.
Little pop up. Weirtech foul ground towards the stands. Leaning in, can't make the play.
Just off his glove right there. I think if he could have got there earlier, he might have made this catch. He's kind of gliding over there and doesn't know where the fence is. Just out of his reach. Talk about almost, you know, that's a, you know, for that's exactly what he does with his fastball. He pounds his own with his fastball, and some nights he's got a good breaking ball, sometimes he doesn't. That doesn't mean he's not going to win when he doesn't have a good breaking ball. You saw he threw a 2-seamer for that big punch out too. He could do that at any time.
Strike 3. Pagan is gone. Takes with him the 4th strikeout for Josh Beckett.
It's a nice way to throw a fastball in. 2-seamer. See how it comes back high. It's a little up a little bit, but you see how it just floated on back. It wasn't his hard pounding fastball. It's that one that just sort of comes back just a little bit.
2 down. Carlos Beltran, an infield hit back in the 1st, scored the only Mets run. Lines it foul.
This guy's dangerous. He only has 6 home runs, but you know he hits 30 every year.
This one shot foul, and it's 0-2.
Like a changeup right there. 89-mile-an-hour changeup. Nice way to finish him off here. Don't get too carried away. Sometimes this crowd makes you think you have to throw it 100 miles an hour. So calm down.
The 0-2. Breaking ball away.
crowd really does help your adrenaline a little bit late in the game like this, but what good is adrenaline when you're trying to throw a curveball? Try to make that same pitch that he punched out Pagan. Sort of left it up and up out over.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, bases empty for the Mets. Beckett trying to finish the 8th. It's over. 5 strikeouts for Beckett. A 1-2-3, a 2-1 Boston. Dunkin' Donuts is in its 10th year of hosting local youth groups and charitable organizations in the Dunkin' Dugout, a special seating section at Fenway Park. Thousands of children have the chance to catch a Red Sox home game thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. You haven't lived unless you've seen Dennis Eckersley rock out to Sweet Carolina in between innings. The Red Sox on top 2-1 as we head to the last half of the 8th. Ellsbury leading it off, and a pitch almost hits him. Squares to bunt as his call to the bullpen is brought to you by New England Ford dealers. And the new pitcher is Pedro Feliciano for the Mets after 7 strong for Mike Pelfrey. It's 22nd appearance for Feliciano. A 2.81 earned run average. Lefty's hitting at just 158 against him. And Ellsbury leading it off. Takes strike 1.
He is their left-handed specialist. He'll go out there forever. I mean, he had 86 appearances last year. That is a ton of appearances. Only 53 innings.
Runs it inside, ball 2.
You know, you wonder when that catches up with somebody after a while. I know he only goes 53 innings, but you still got to get it up 86 times.
Pens are busy. Parnell, we saw last night, throwing very hard. Papelbon get ready for the 9th. 2-1. 3-1.
With no control over his fastball here.
Jerry Manuel's Mets grabbing game 1 of this series. Red Sox trying to grab tonight's. A strike and a full count.
Red Sox can use a run right here. The base runners will start this whole thing.
Chops it left side. Martinez at short. Throws out Ellsbury. One down in the 8th. Stay with us immediately following the game tonight for WB Mason's Extra Innings. You'll see the live post-game press conference of Terry Francona and Josh Beckett. Jim will break down the key plays in this game, 2 of the series, plus all the reaction from the Red Sox clubhouse in our Clubhouse Uncut segment. It's all coming up right after the game with TC, Jim, and Heidi. Josh Beckett, 117 pitches, pitching 8 innings tonight for the Red Sox, 78 strikes. And retired the last 5 batters that he faced.
Finished it off in style. He punched out Beltran on a changeup down and away. But really, the last 2 innings, the last 4 batters is how he did it in some style.
Troy gets jammed, pops it up, foul ground. Murphy by the stands makes the catch. Right in front of the photographer's well. 2 down.
Pedroia not real happy, even though he got 2 hits tonight.
Two-way. David Ortiz does not have a hit tonight. A strikeout in the first, a walk in the third. He grounded out in the 5th.
Hit that ball pretty hard last time up. You say ground out, it was into right field, 1 hop into right field. Pretty good.
True.
Solid contact last time up, ball down.
Right into the shift. With Luis Castillo, who's lined there once again, about 25 feet into right.
You know, you look at his average up there, 203, and it strikes me. I remember a year Mark McGuire hit like 204, you know, 1991, and he came back the next year, had a great year. But it's hard to hit 204. It really is. Seems like you can go 0 for a lot and it never goes under 200. Not that Mark McGuire was a 300 hitter, but to see him go through that year, 1991 I think it was, and he hit like, I think 202 maybe. He was awful that year. Hit only 20, maybe 22 home runs from a guy with that kind of power. So it really had an effect on him all year long.
Ortiz fouls it off. Count evens at 2-2.
I don't mean to bring up a negative, but I've seen this before. At this point, 22 home runs would be quite a few home runs.
Strike 3 call. Ortiz striking out for the 2nd time tonight. Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Olympia Sports, the official sporting goods retailer of the New England Sports Network. Your New England Chrysler Back at Fenway Park, the game summary is brought to you by Comcast. Back in the first inning, kind of a misplay and a little pop-up in foul ground. Beckett doesn't make the catch and is in the way. Turns out the Mets get a run in the first inning, the only time they would score so far in this one. Kevin Youkilis drives in a pair of runs with this single. The Red Sox scoring in the bottom of the first inning against Pelfrey. And a chance for the Mets to tie it up in the fifth when the Red Sox shortstop Nick Green goes out to short left and makes a great running catch right in front of Jason Bay. 8 innings from Beckett, who gives up just 1 run. And looks on now after 117 pitches tonight as Papelbon takes over. His 19th game, a 0.95 ERA, 11 for 11. It's Gary Sheffield who leads it off for New York in the 9th.
Gotta be careful here. This guy, dead red fastball hitter.
Takes strike 1. Fastball at 95.
Be interesting to see if he breaks out any sliders like he did the other night. But the other night it was like sort of practice. He had a 4-run lead, so you don't want to get burnt on a slider. Fastball away. Boy, he wasn't going to miss out over the plate that time. He just yanked that thing out there.
At Sheffield now, David Wright next, and then Jeremy Reed.
Got to make sure you get this ball in.
Too far in, 2-1. Sheffield tonight with a single back in the first to ground out line out. It's his single that brought in the Mets' only run, his 10th RBI.
It's a hanging breaking ball that he got a base hit on in the first inning.
Only blemish for Josh Beckett in his 8-inning effort tonight. 2-1. 3-1.
Joe didn't give it to him that time. It was outside. This ball was brought out there at 96 miles an hour. Looks pretty good, but that ball's out. That 3-1 pitch here. Got to be careful.
Ball 4. Papelbon walks the lead batter here in the 9th.
That's the thing about pitching inside. You never want to leave something out over the plate, so you end up throwing a ball in there because you don't want to make a mistake.
th walk allowed by Papelbon on the season.
It's a lot for him.
David Wright stands in.
Walks are all right, but not really leadoff walks. Going to throw over here, I would assume.
Sheffield has to dive back.
Not that he can run, 40 years old. He used to be able to run a little bit. He'd steal you some bags here and there.
Swing and a miss. Blew it by him at 97.
Whew. One of the hardest balls he's probably thrown all year long. Ball gets up there, boy.
Outfield playing for Wright to go the other way. Ellsbury into right center. The 0-1. Have to wait, low throw, and a nice pick by Youkilis. Wow.
You know, it's not worth throwing over there, to be honest with you, especially when you see something like that, when he almost throws the ball away. It's just not worth it. You know, the likeliness of him trying to steal bag is zilch. You know, so it just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, you know, you give him a look, but don't give him a good move. A good move, you might throw it away.
White fights it off, 95, and it's 0-2.
Good pitch. You know, this ball, you made sure that ball is not out over the plate. This ball is rushing inside. Look at that. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect.
Jeremy Reed on deck for the Mets. Lead runner on, and Gary Sheffield at first, who walked. The 0-2. Got him. Big out for Papelbon. Wright's down by way of the K.
He's absolutely overpowered right here. You know, that fastball inside makes him try to hurry up. It's just overpowering. This is ridiculous. This ball is so by him. Papelbon's got it going on tonight, velocity-wise. Even with that kind of velocity, the thing that's great about Papelbon is, like, he's in, he's out. He puts that fastball in one zone or the other consistently. You know, the walks are up a little bit this year, but for the most part, when you want a fastball in, he's giving you a fastball in. Now, he may launch some balls outside sometimes, but that's harmless. When you go inside, you got to be, don't make mistakes inside.
He deals with Jeremy Reed now with one out. Sheffield at first base. Strike one.
That ball looks like it almost rises a little bit.
Well, Papelbon last couple of outings has been making them quick. Second in the American League with 11 saves. Brian Fuentes of the Angels has 12. It's 0-1 to Reed. Outside, ball one.
You know, as deliberate as Papelbon is, he really plays with your patience a little bit. You know, it seems like, it makes you a little anxious up there to want to swing at something. He's just so deliberate. Right down to that stare into home plate.
Again by him, 1-2.
There's no chance. This ball explodes in here, goes back out over the middle of the plate. He wants it away, goes over the middle, but it's just got too much hair on it.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. Sheffield at first.
That last pitch was kind of a mistake, but it's just the velocity just beat him.
He struck him out, 2 down. Back-to-back strikeouts for Papelbon. Right, then Reed, 2 away.
No chance. Reed had absolutely no chance. You see that after throwing a ball by him, like middle up, just throws it up and away, and no chance.
Now Omir Santos, who singled his last time up, is 1 for 3. Santos to left. It's hit well. Bay going back, looking up. It is off the top of the wall. It comes back. And he'll stop at second base. He's stopping at third is Sheffield. The ball gets away. It's backed up by Papelbon. And the question is it gone?
Replay this.
I think it may be gone.
This ball's gone.
It hit the top and came back, which means it hit that area above the ledge. I think it's a 2-run home run.
Absolutely. This is trouble for the Red Sox.
The way it came back is the only reason why I think it's gone.
He went out
the ledge on top.
He went da-da-da, sort of kicked around up there and then came back. And you can't reach over. I think it's gone.
They're getting together.
You'll see this ball because it sort of stays up there for a second, then comes back. Yes, Vic hit the back wall. You know what I'm saying? Hit that little green 6 inches above. Watch. See?
It's gone.
It's gone.
It'll be only the second career home run if they get it right.
You got to be kidding me. Santos
still talking it over. This is a tough look for the umpires. They're looking up at the top of that wall.
They got to review this thing.
This could be one of those. You're exactly right.
Because they got to get it right.
Joe West, the crew chief, has got the plate.
Why even talk about it if you're not going to make it a home run call? Because you got to go find out what's the discussion about. It's too close not to discuss. Ball's gone.
So that's where Joe West is headed. The room here at Fenway Park, which we've not seen used yet, is headed. It's right in behind the Red Sox dugout. That's where Joe West is going.
What was so tough about that decision to go find out? I mean, let's go. Bounce around. Right. Well, they have to make it conclusive with all the umpires. You can't just hurry up and say, oh, let's go look at it, which that's why it took so long. This may take even longer.
I think it's going to be a disappointing result.
So do I, because you know, a couple years ago this wouldn't have happened, because if you see this ball where it lands, you can't. This may not be the best view. See it back, hit the back wall.
That's a ledge right there. That is
that
about
ledge, which is a dinger,
2.5 feet,
which means it's
back.
over the fence.
Yep.
Right. Right. It's over the red line. You know, it's not a pretty thing. Unless he can't see very good, this is trouble. You know, the ball's over the top of the red. There's that ledge up there. It must have kicked off the back, and that's why.
Yeah, that's why I thought, because when it hit, it bounced back in the ricochet, and the ledge was set back above.
Yeah.
Wouldn't come off the wall that way.
No. And I thought Sheffield was trying to sneak in right there. They had to play at the plate. We'll never know that.
If this shakes down the way we think it will, the Mets will enjoy a 3-2 lead with a 2-run home run off Papelbon in the 9th.
If I'm Papelbon right now, I'm thinking, I got to wait all this time for them to come out here and tell me this is a home run.
Omar Santos taking Papelbon.
Has he ever went bridge in his life?
Yeah, he's got one earlier this year.
Oh my goodness. What a shocker.
This would be the second home run that Papelbon has given up on the season.
You know, you think you got a guy like Santos at the plate. You're throwing gas galore.
What is taking so long here?
Well, they've never used that room over there before. You know, you gotta. Here we go. It's
a home run.
How about that? That is a killer. And it's absolutely shocking. 2 outs. It just struck out 2 guys. Blown away 2 hitters in a row.
Well, Terry Francona wants to talk it over. Well, Papelbon, they've converted each of his last 16 save opportunities dating back to last year, September 13th of last season. And a 2-run home run for Omar Santos.
Well, you know Santos is looking fastball. Hurry up. Get ready. Get set. Go. High fastball. Gets a big part of bat on it. He's got his mouth wide open, thinking he crushes this ball. For him, ball barely gets over the wall. Umpires don't know for sure until they go back in. They review, and this ball's gone. Shocking. I don't know what Tito's.
I'm not sure what he's arguing
about. I mean, how do you argue a replay?
Well, Beckett no longer part of this. Was in line for his 5th win of the year. An 8-inning 1-run effort. Papelbon gives up the 2-run home run. It's 3-2 Mets.
You see the high fastball to Santos. How does he get to a ball like that?
97.
You've got to be kidding me.
On the gun.
And he got to it. And he knew when he hit it. You see him leaving home plate. He had his mouth was wide open. You see how hard he throws this ball up out of the zone. Normally no one can get to a ball that high. Look at it. Out of the, look at him. Look at his mouth. He knows he got it. He is so excited. I don't know if he knows he got it or not. He knows he hit it hard. He was just glad to make contact.
Well, his second home run of the year. The first was a grand slam against the Marlins. But this is a big one against Jonathan Papelbon and the Red Sox. 2 outs. And now Ramon Martinez. 1 for 3.
Well, those Mets are thrilled over there. They're shocked themselves.
We talked about the bottom of this Mets lineup looking much different with all the injuries. J.J. Putz is up in the pen.
K-Rod had gone a couple innings before that a couple nights ago. Maybe he's not available.
This one lined to third, picked by Lowell up into the air to get it. But the damage has been done in the inning. We head to the bottom of the ninth. It's 3-2 now, New York. Omir Santos has put the Mets on top 3-1, 3-2 as this ball up on top of the wall and gone above the red line off the ledge after the review. An elated Mets dugout. And Santos comes around much to the dismay of Jonathan Papelbon. The blown save. Now the Red Sox trail by a run. Euclid against the new Mets pitcher J.J. Putz. And it's strike one. Putz was unavailable last night. Stiff neck in there tonight. His 23rd game of the year. A tough outing last time out against Los Angeles. Giving up a run in an inning.
He knows how to save games. Saved about 42 games for Seattle a couple years back. Fastball, split finger, occasional breaking ball.
Euclid, Bay, and Drew expected in the ninth.
He's got to be in shock over there.
Fouled off, and it's 1-2.
He gets it up there 96 himself.
32-year-old J.J. Putz, former closer of the Mariners, had 40 saves for Seattle in 2007. Two and two.
A hard breaking ball right there. Doesn't really feature a split finger as much to right-handed hitters than to left.
Nicholas fouls it off at 97, reaching back that time.
You see some heat the last 2 innings from both closers here. Papelbon talking to himself over there.
Nicholas knocking in the 2 runs the Red Sox have back in the first inning. Since innings flied out twice. And battling J.J. Putz. He's 1 for 5 in his career against Putz. 2-2. Ball 3, full count.
Well, he'll give you a good at bat every time.
Payoff pitch to Youkilis. Fouled off again. The 7-pitch at bat so far. Jason Bay will be next, and then J.D. Drew expected. Right-hander's hitting at .227 against J.J. Putz. Ball 4. Youkilis works the walk to start the bottom of the 9th.
This game's got walk-off written all over it.
Jason Bay, the kind of guy that can get it done. 0 for 3 tonight. 1 for 2 in his career against Putz.
He hasn't had a walk-off this year yet, does he, Bay? So some big home runs, but none of them have been walk-offs. He tied the home run off of Rivera. He just tied the ball game. A 2-run shot to dead central.
Check on Youkilis diving back.
Big home run off Wood in Cleveland.
That
3-run shot.
Of the 9th, yep.
Yeah, but just wasn't a walk-off.
Right.
If they had been home, it would have been.
Swing and a miss. 94 and it's 0-1.
He's got that little flip right here going. Ball beats him a little bit though. He's got that home run swing though. A little uppercut.
J.J. Putz with 1 save for the Mets. The 0-1. Down the line at third, Wright picks it in the backhand. The throw to second is in time. Oh, what a play at second base by Luis Castillo. Reaching back, that could have ended up in right field. They get the lead runner in Youkilis instead for out number 1.
The play starts with a nice play by Wright. The ball hits sharply down the line right there. I think a double when he first hit it. Nice pick right here. Gets up quickly, but errant toss. 1 hop. Castilla makes a nice play, even to hold his foot on the bag. Just a great play. Just saved right on that play. That ball gets away from him. Even to keep your foot on the bag and pick a ball like that.
1 down, Bay at first. J.D. Drew 0 for 3 tonight as he takes ball 1.
And the ball was stung down the left field line. It looked like that double written all over it.
Drew to right. Pagan in his tracks. 2 down.
Drew stings this ball. Putz is living right out there. Drew gets a fastball right there up middle. He's lucky this ball is not kissed even farther. Hits it solid right to the right field, or line drive right field. Putz is really got a luck charm with him right now.
2 down, Jason Bay at first. Mike Lowell's had a quiet night, grounding out 3 times. 1 for 8 in his career against Putz. Strike 1. 97. The Red Sox have not lost a series at home since the first series of the year against the Tampa Bay Rays. Lost last night, down 3-2. It'll take something for Lowell if we are to continue. Outside, ball 1.
You can't get that breaking ball over. You got to keep looking dead red.
Outfield very deep and straight away on Lowell. There goes Bay at first. Lowell hits a one-hopper, diving it short as Martinez up and throwing. Throw low and the game's over. Ramon Martinez, who had such a tough night last night, makes a great diving play, gets up and throws out Lowell at first base. And the Red